super tight.
Yeah. First of all, when has that ever been bad? Anything super tight.
Hey, Scotch Test Dummies. Monday morning, we're live a little bit earlier than usual.
Yes.
We did not film normal reviews today. We were invited to
special.
The Scotch and Sirloin here in Wichita.
Right. Anybody that showed up for a gathering will know that we hosted one of our events with Brian Dietrich, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society there with 100 people. Ben Dietrich. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant to say Ben. I don't know why I said Brian. As soon as you looked at me, I knew I did something wrong. Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, Dietrich, right?
I know. I was all focused
Usually
on
it's a last name. Well, you messed up the
I'm
first
good.
name.
Yeah,
So.
first name's you. I'm a last name guy. Everybody's last name. And for years, I would have people you even threw me off because you go by your middle.
Yes.
Yeah. And so in the office, people would mention your regular name and I'd be like, who you guys talking about? What are we reviewing here?
Howdy to Santa Cruzin, Whiskey Jason, My Bourbon Journey, Jan Paul Vanderhoven, Rob Davey, Jordan Rowe, Alexander Butte, James Hope, Christine Deems.
Yes. Rob is right. What do we got here, Scott?
Rob is right.
Yeah. He said test it.
Oh,
but that's
test
coming.
it. Oh.
That's coming.
Jura Superstition, lightly peated, and we're going to
test it lightly peated style. Jura Superstition. So I thought you'd seen his comment. I'm all out of sorts. Usually by the time we go to the live, we film several. We're fluid. We're flowing.
Yeah.
I actually brought up Ben Dietrich at our last little deal that we shot, and I didn't blow the name there. So sorry, Ben. So.
For those that are tuning in late, we were invited to the Scotch and Sirloin. It's a local Scotch, or it's a steak restaurant.
Yeah.
Fine dining.
Yeah. Steakhouse.
Happens to have a nice whiskey bar,
which you
Scotch
expect.
Bar.
Yeah, when their name is Scotch and Sirloin, you are not necessarily looking for vodka and salmon.
Premier restaurant here in Wichita.
Yes,
I think Carl said 1968 they opened.
Yep, that was their original open, and we did our Friday gathering there with Ben Dietrich, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. And about 100 folks. They've got a room that fits that many. And when we were done, you were actually setting up to do our live feed from there. Anybody can tune into that. Carl, their manager, pulled me aside and said, hey, we'd love if you guys were interested in coming here and sampling some of what we got. What did we sample?
Well, we got to sample the 2017 Macallan Exceptional Cask Series.
Yep. All but they could not get bottle 1 and bottle 6.
Yep, we had 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Right, and so it was very, very nice.
Yeah, so
there were some subtle little differences between each, and we go into that. Let's see.
The nose on this.
I get a little bit of salt.
I hate to say I don't like it.
Really? See, I get a little bit of clay, salt,
sour grain.
Howdy, Chad.
This is a dirty sock smell.
Ooh, Lana Lou says really good food too. Yeah, they had good food at the Scotch.
Yeah.
Lana was there. Some folks are saying they wish they could have made it. I wish you guys could have as well.
Well, and all they were redoing the outside of the business. They've been doing a remodel. At that time of our gathering, they were redoing the front facade. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
I can bring up facade, but
so Brian's name gets messed up.
But then Brian.
But it's all done now. It looks really nice.
I'm going to pay for that.
So. However, this morning it was cloudy and rainy.
Yes.
And so we didn't shoot. We wanted to film ourselves walking in. Yeah. We couldn't do that.
Couldn't do any of that.
So we have to go back some morning when it's nice and shiny out.
Yep.
And shoot that.
Ooh, Alexander. Pete is my favorite. Yeah, mine too. I love it. Now, I will tell you though, I will admit with Pete being my sweet spot, I have not tried a lot of Jura. And even this being subtly peated, everybody out there knows by now, or if you're new, you don't, but I am a peat head. I love smack me in the face with a peat club. That is not this.
43% ABV. You do get the peat on the nose. I should get kind of a burnt rubber though.
How is the frozen tundra? Wants to know Jesse from Florida. It hasn't been too bad.
No, we had
a couple of real chilly ones.
Yeah, we had a few days there where it was really cold,
but then what? It's supposed to. We had a 67-degree day that.
Was
wild. And we're supposed to have another one coming. It's kind of weird.
You know what's weird is that generally down here in the corner, it tells us how many people are watching, but it just has links there now.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
Now, someone said, "Is this old Jura?"
Where's the box? I think this is the. Is this the old or the new? You can tell it's packed when they repackage. Right. This is the old, I believe.
I think it is the old, isn't it? It's done a repack.
Dusty as it was. It was
dusty and sitting on the shelf for some time. Bart's a pedophile. Yes, I like my Pete's young. Says James. Exactly. So, yeah, when Lagavulin did their, who was it? Well, I've even had Single Cask Nation. They did some 5-year-old Lafroig that was great. So.
Okay, palate's not bad on it.
Nose is a little different.
Nose is different. Palate, peat. It's
a little astringent.
It's a little sour peat. It doesn't feel Isla peat.
Nope.
No. Well, it's a little sour. There's some sweetness, honeyed sweetness.
Yeah.
Citrus.
Yeah, with a dry wood underlayment.
It's a little different even on the palate. Not bad. Now you've hit the bottle a few times.
No.
It looks like.
Haven't even nothing.
Well, where'd you get it? You found it on the shelf like that?
I think this was donated by somebody. Did we do this at a tasting?
No.
Yeah, because I actually thought it was yours. I don't know. If it is, maybe it was early. But this has probably been over there for review for what, 2 years?
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, it's been sitting there. What?
Well, Has Dan's says it's the old line.
Yeah, it's been there. It's been sitting there. One thing we like to do in impromptu is grab either something hot or something real old that won't come off the shelf. It's not coming off the shelf. We'll snatch it up, do a quick show on it. Or Scott will bring in something to go, we got to move this up. This one's going impromptu. Let's see.
Let me see the box.
Okay. Seeing the box. So today's deal was fun because, again, it's always a lot more work if we're going to go out and shoot on location somewhere. And you gotta, it's kind of weird because sometimes we warm up as we're doing shows. So we're going in kind of cold and we just gotta hit it. And I think we're getting better at it. But anytime you're not even on the standard, you're not on your standard set, it just throws you a little bit. And you got to tweak your lighting and do a bunch of stuff. So
you were rolling better than I was. I wasn't really in the mood or wasn't feeling. I needed a warm up drink.
Okay. Well, we should have done something. And that was earlier than we normally. Well, I don't want to say earlier, but I mean we were up and around a little sooner than normal too, because we had to get there. They opened at 11. And you're going to have staff and bartenders coming in and wanting to get set up. So we knew we had to get in there early and set up before most people were there. Yeah, I'm curious to see if water does anything to it.
Trying to make up my mind on this. If I had it, how much would I go back to it?
What's the ABV? 43. Let me try a little water.
It feels a little younger. A lot of maltiness.
Yes.
A lot of grain.
Yep. And that grain comes off with that. To me, what I do like is that a slight doughiness to it. So a slight doughy maltiness with a smidgen of peat and dusty wood, which is okay with me. I will agree. Lampert was saying that, it's not like a go-to, but it's nothing he dislikes either. And I would say that's about where I'm at on it. It's nothing really screaming or jumping out at me or making me go, wow. But nothing that would be off-putting. It's not ashtray for those that don't like the heavy peat. It's none of that.
Paul Dewar wants to know how his favorite STDs are doing.
Really good.
Good.
Yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, just a, yeah.
That's the Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Doing that. Go Habs. The hair salon is closed on Mondays. All right. I will say I forgot a hat. I was going to bring a hat when we did the deal at the Scotch and Sirloin, and I forgot the hat.
James Hope wants to know if we have any shootouts in the planning. It's coming up on March Madness. We really don't have. We could do. We've talked about 12-year-old single malts. Maybe an Irish shootout had come up.
Well, we talked about doing the blended. So all the blendeds we would get together. You know, I want to do a family shootout with all the Ardbegs that I have back here. More
you got 16. Do we have 16 different Ardbegs?
16 of them. I want to say I might be at 14.
But I mean, what if we added?
Yeah, we could pick up a few more. I bet you we could do an Ardbeg 16 bottle March Ardbeg Madness. Wow, just Ardbeg?
Find out which one's the best. Dark Cove.
Well, I like the way you talk. I might have to find a few bottles that I don't have. I did manage to, thanks to a fan, I was able to get wizened up to a liquor store that had some bottles that were they were expensive, but they were long gone, and they weren't that crazy expensive that I picked up 4 that were gone and I couldn't find anywhere else. So that was nice. And they were good. But what I will tell you is kind of the current stuff coming out is, phenomenal.
I only count about 11 or 12 back there. So if you add I don't see a 10. That would.
Well, some you do have a problem where I'll have like the committee release version and then the regular, like the Dark Cove and the Dark Cove non-committee release.
Yeah, I didn't count the non-committee release back there, just the CRs probably.
And I will tell you they're different, but you can tell they're still kind of the same. So I don't know. It'd be interesting though. Wouldn't it be interesting if the non-committee releases went out and maybe it was labeling or higher proof that was getting us? Let's see. No, probably not. Vanderhoeven says add indie bottlings. Though that would be good if we did an indie bottling. We just did a show kind of on indie bottlings.
Yeah.
But I could see at some point definitely doing a 16 bottle show. This is great for that. Yeah, guys, keep throwing some, and gals, throw some ideas out. Yeah, voicing things, the Dark Cove and the Groove CR would do well. I would agree. Although I got to tell you, I love their regular 10 as well. I
don't think I like it.
All right. Santa Cruz says, Scott, I'm wearing jeans. People are asking me what's up.
Who's wearing jeans?
Santa Cruz.
So
his jeans, he's got them high rise up to his belly button.
You just move to another peated. This is a cheaper peated.
There's one more glass around the corner there.
For what?
Well, unless you want to pour right in.
Pour it back. Back pour.
Back pour. Back pour.
They'll say Jura Superstition is it's not bad for a young whiskey. You paid too much for.
I will tell you,
because I believe that's $60 to $70, and I wouldn't see myself buying more of it, and I wouldn't see myself going back to it that often. So let's just compare. This is like a $30 bottle here.
Okay.
That's around. We don't have this in our area. I know this is from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And this is dusty as well. Old Ballantruan.
This was from
10-year. This is a Speyside.
I forget when I got this.
You were down there. It's from Total. I remember you sending me the picture.
It is from Total, but I think it's when I was at a board game convention.
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, I am not keeping boxes or cans anymore. I was noticing I'd be looking, saying, "Oh, maybe I'll try that." Let me grab something that's not a box or a can. So I'm getting rid of all the packaging.
Lana Lou says, "LOL, I have never seen y'all doing a back pour."
We learned that, Nancy Fraley, or should I say Cindy?
I wouldn't pin it down. I won't tell people who taught
Oh
us.
no, she showed us one. It was a very, very high proof, and she said, "You know what? because I'd had a lot. This was my fault. We'd been sampling from Cass, and there was a point where I knew I was like, whoa, I've hit it. And I said, but this is phenomenal. And she goes, she'd poured it. It hadn't touched the lips yet. And she says, you know what? We can pour that right back in. We're not going to waste that. That's a fancy one. So, yeah, back pours are okay, especially with high proof.
So the nose here, I still get almost pretty similar to the Jura. A little bit of a sour malt.
You don't know if you would pin it down.
Lighter, citrus, sweet.
Lana, I will tell you this. If I give somebody a sip of that Cavalon that you gifted and they were like, ooh, I don't want it. Maybe I'm too new to whiskey and that's too much. First of all, it probably wouldn't be back poured. I'd probably be like, I'll drink yours for you. Because thank you again. That was delicious.
That's much better. The old Ballantruan is much better than the Jura Superstition.
Yeah. Well, let's quantify why. I get a lot more of that, what you would think of as a standard Isla smoke. So it's got more of a smoke flavor, whereas the Jura had more of a background hint of more just like an earthy peat. I get a touch of antiseptic here, but not in a bad way.
This isn't Isla, though, either.
Well, it's sure peated, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's peated. Yeah. It's Speyside.
Right, but it's peated. Yeah, I can pick up. That's what I'm saying, though. It's got that Isla smoke to it.
A lot more peat. It's 50% ABV, a little bit higher ABV, but that's not what's doing it. This is, I mean, there's a lot more peat, nice sweetness. Old Ballantruan.
That's good.
Wins out.
But yeah, to me, what I hit is this is more of that typical Isla peated, whereas the Jura's obviously its own little place. So, and it's not the typical peat, is what I'll say. This feels more like the typical Isla peat that people think of when you say peated.
Old Ballantruan is not a blended, George. This is a 10-year single malt Scotch whiskey, Speyside Glenlivet, unchill filtered, 50%. And I remember seeing these down in Total as well. And I'm pretty sure I remember these things were like $35. Maybe 30, if I remember right. If anybody knows, has seen these in Total or picked it up.
Yeah, no chill filtration. They say they do that in order to retain its layered and integrated peaty flavors, definitely. Gentle peaty smokiness, yes. Sweet, creamy, malty backbone.
Well, I think I remember you buying this in Total. It was me. I bought this one.
No, that was me.
So I'll take that one home.
Negative. Negatory.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
It is. Now it's down, the level's down to about here. You probably can't see it. And it is a couple years old.
Yes.
Oxidation. What was it like right out of the chute? I don't remember.
Yep. It's holding. So.
But did it get better?
I couldn't tell you that.
We were told less manga, Amy.
I was doing less manga, but for the live shoot, when you see it, this is what I was wearing. Not the live shoot. The one over at the Scotch and Sirloin, I wanted to wear a manga. So it pops.
I went with business attire.
Yes. Yeah. He had a cane and a satchel.
Is the peat campfire or iodine and seaweed?
Closer to iodine.
Like Lefroy.
Yeah, not seaweed, but closer to the iodine peat layer. And that's where, but so I'm calling it more like an Isla peat without the, I don't get the sea salt as much.
That's very surprising. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more leaning toward iodine. What are you doing?
I didn't see anybody comment with a price on it. Let's see.
Lana Lou and Bart, you're very welcome for the Cavalon Peat Cask. Yes. Still looking for more info on it.
Lana Lou probably had a reminder set or a notification set because she gave us the Cavalon Peaty cask.
Mm-hmm.
And then she missed out on the live stream when we reviewed it.
Yeah. Yeah, for those.
So she probably has been sitting by her computer every day waiting
hit the
for
bell.
the next live.
There's a little bell, and I forget where it is, but if you click on the bell, you're supposed to get notifications, and it's weird because every once in a while people will be receiving notifications, and then that bell gets turned off. So I don't know, and I've had it happen to me on a show we watch or I watch, and all of a sudden the bell's not working anymore, and I got to go re-click it. So I don't know what happens there with YouTube.
A news is saying $55 in Massachusetts, so a little bit higher than I remembered or what I thought. So yeah, PJ McNeil, $54 at Total Wine. That's worth it. That's a very nice $54 bottle.
Doug Chrishope, duty calls, lunch meeting at work, even with free lunch. I'd rather have STDs. Ha ha! I like the way you talk, brother. That is perfect. Hopefully he's still there to catch that.
Yeah, low 50s price wise on Wine Searcher I was seeing.
John Paul says 50 plus euros over here. Yes.
I haven't even added a drop of water to it yet.
Bart likes young manga. I suppose. We'll just stick with young peated whiskey. I'll be on a watch list somewhere. I play board games. I like young peats. And I like manga. That's got to put me on a watch list.
Frank wants to know if I remember the Banknote blended whiskey I bought at Plaza. It's on sale now for $14. It was $19 or $20. Oh, I've got it at home. We reviewed it. I don't know if it was alive or if we gave it its own.
I remember.
But I haven't touched it since I put it back on the shelf.
And Hoyt says, so no burning pirate ship on this one. No, this would be more like a burning dinghy. How about a little dinghy on fire with a hemp rope?
I was going to say a burning
sailcloth
golf course green.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, like out here in Kansas, they'll burn off their fields, and there's a touch of that in here too.
Like you're on the back nine, and there's a grass fire in the fairway.
I suppose I never golfed a day in my life.
Oh,
you? Really? Never. My dad
I golfed in high school, but I didn't. I was on the golf team a couple years in high school, but I never golfed really since.
Wow.
Didn't have the time or the money.
Well, Dad golfed a little bit. I wanted to go with him once, and he said, absolutely not. If you want to learn, you go get lessons. I'm not teaching you. It's a frustrating sport. And he did get a hole-in-one, though, at some point. Let's see. Is it easy, Hazdans? Is it easy to get miniature sample bottles in the States?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I mean it depends.
So
you can go to some stores that just have a bunch. The back behind the shelf is just full of them. And you go to some stores and there's just a few out on the counter by the register.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's hit and miss.
And I know there's old collector scene with those bottles too. So I call them the airline bottles. Do you want some more?
Now, do you don't want the Jura over that one? I'm just asking.
I don't.
Okay.
This hits me in the more typical peated world that I like, which I already explained. It's more of it feels more like an Isla peat without the salt, but with the slight iodine that's in there and the earthiness that floats around.
No, I wonder, since this is a space side, if there's any sherry influence. I don't get any.
I don't see anything else in here either. Somebody's home. So there may be some noises. The chupacabra was getting very excited.
That's what you tell the boys. Sometimes when you come home from school, you might hear some noises.
Ignore the noises. There's a reason the door's locked.
Turn the TV on.
That's right. Turn the TV on. Go watch your favorite show.
Who we got? Luis Sanchez is here. The Dan Trout, 2 Nico 4. Hoyt's here. John Paul Vanderhoven.
Yeah, the Dan Trout says, howdy, fellas.
Jesse Voisin, Whiskey Ace, Tim Book, James Hope.
The Aardvark's in. The Aardvark Eagle.
Look back through here a little bit.
Doing a look back. He's doing a look back. We'll see what else we got.
Santa Cruz and Shimon. I didn't see
Shimon. Price on what?
Yeah, that was the old Ballantruan
Yep, the
10.
old
Looks like it's in
Ballantruan.
the low to mid 50s.
Yes.
It's worth it. It's good. It's a
Right.
good bottle.
Yep.
Rob
Yes.
Davey, Kenneth Canelti, Anuj Manuja, Doug Chrisope, we called
Claire the
out.
third, winner of the STDs, doing the Bourbon Trail. You know, I don't know. We're going to have to hold. We've actually got a trip that as we get closer, we'll let you know. We're going to be out in Ireland, actually.
Yep, coming up in May, we'll be looking at, we're going to Ireland.
Yep.
We got invited over actually on that one.
Yes.
But unfortunately, real life and full-time jobs.
We're limited to probably one or two of those, the bigger trips. So, but we would love to do the Bourbon Trail. Are we allowed to say yet, do you think, where in Ireland? Which distillery? Do you want to hold on that for a bit?
I would say just hold off on that
we'll
and
hold.
get her pinned down for sure. And
Get her pinned down. We were told that by going when we go that it'll be green. Everything will be green, which is great. And warmer, obviously. Spring is coming at that time.
Claire says no one likes Irish whiskey. That's wrong.
Tunico 4.
That's wrong.
Tunico 4 says why in Ireland? Well, he just says go to Waterford while we're in Ireland.
Oh,
so
coincidence. Bourbon Trail is cheaper.
It is. Not this time.
Not this time.
No, not this one. So we're also trying to work out where we'll maybe pop over to Glasgow, and that way we can hang out with Aqua Vitae with Roy on his turf, and spend a little time with Roy. Tunico 4, he was at Waterford, so interesting. What did you think of Waterford? Put something in the comments there.
Scotch 4 dummies. They're
Ireland,
hitting the
green?
Bourbon Trail April 13th.
Yes. Well, we were told Ireland is not very green currently right now when we were looking at dates. We were told if we went out there now, it's still brown. They said if you just hold until May. Tunico 4, yes, Old Brooklotti owner. I always say the last name wrong. You do it much better.
Mark Rainier.
Rainier, yes. Is Rainier, is that correct?
That's who.
I think you're right. I always feel like I'm
It
butchering
looks
it.
like Rainier, but it's Rainier.
I think I always want to say Rainier. And it's Rainier. Rainier?
Rainier.
Okay. See, I'm nervous. I always, whenever I'm thinking about saying it, I'm like, yeah.
Well, if that's wrong, then Mark Gillespie's pronouncing it wrong.
I like the way you think. Yeah, pinning on Mark. Mark's fault.
When he's interviewed him on Whiskey Cast.
Right. Well, he's a polite guy, so he never tells him, hey, my name is Rainier. It's Rainier. You've got it totally wrong. It's not Rainier. Is the Emerald Isle blue? See, a lot of jokes here. I'm just telling you, we are flat out told by the distillery, if you come out right now, everything's going to be brown and dead. And if you come out in May, everything will be super green. So we were like, got it. Rainier.
I don't know if they said it's going to
Rainier.
be brown and dead.
Okay, brown. It was winter. If we were going to come out when we were going to come out, it was winter. They said everything's brown. I think he said dead. It's winter. You come out in spring, green. We call it the island of Azul.
Should we wrap it up?
We shouldn't. Let's do 5 more minutes of just seeing what pops here. I kind of like that. Santa Cruz said 20 minutes. Tunico 4 said, sorry, I'm not sure. Oh, he had a typo.
Should we grab another peated and bring in for a comparison?
Wow. Go 3, baby. We're going to clear that shelf. Another peated. Do it. Because that one was really good. That Ballantruan
Well,
was
let's just
good.
go with another 10 here.
Okay. I like the youth.
Benriach Curiositas.
Ooh. You're hitting my shelf now. Look at that. Yet another tube we can clear out of here.
Good.
Ooh, single peated malt. Love the sound of it.
And that is Highland also, I believe. That's not Isla.
The heart of Speyside.
So another 10-year Speyside. Let's compare it
It's
to
a
the keep the old Ballantruan in there.
It's a good comparison. I'm getting rid of the cans. I tend to hold on to the cans. We're getting rid of it. Let's put everything that we've reviewed. Let's just do that. Like, it's kind of off camera. We're going to back it up. Backing it up.
Old Ballantruan beat out the Jura.
Yeah. There you go. Whoever told you to zoom in?
There you see.
Me. I'm like, zoom in, man, so I'm not encroaching. Oh, boy.
Well, we went from heavily sherried.
Jesse wants to know new coins soon. Not yet.
No, we still got a couple months probably before we even get the design up. So,
though, we've had a lot of people asking. So we went with 750 coins because we're not just trying to pump them out. The plan was if we can stay that where the coins run out about 8 months, and that's kind of what we're on par for again, right? Just to use the golfing term.
Yeah.
So our idea is if the coins stick around for about 8 months, we kind of like that. So we've added,
and we like to up the quantity though, just because that makes each one. From 1, 2, 3, 4, each one there's a little bit more, each one a little bit less in the earlier ones.
Well, we didn't know. Yeah. What do we have? 250 on the first run?
Yeah.
Yeah. That took 8 months. That's when we were younger.
250 and then 350 and then 500 and now 750.
And we're still in about 8 months. So what we want to do is keep it about an 8-month run so everybody can get in. If you haven't seen, I don't even have one handy. Do you have a coin?
No.
No, sorry. We came from our on the road show. But yeah, the whiskey hats. So if you're new, go to scotch-dummies.com. You can pick up some of our challenge coins that work as a whiskey hat.
The nose really feels pretty familiar to the old Ballantruan 10. Just light peat on the nose and citrus sweetnesses.
Much different flavor though. I get a lot more vanillas and honeys here with a secondary peat. Peat bursting.
Wow.
The old Ballantruan was more of what I felt like was a standard Isla peat iodine. This is a nuanced vanilla honey with peat notes.
More sweetness here.
Yeah.
The old Ballantruan, I would have said, was like 70% peat, 30% sweet. This is more like 50-50.
I like the way you talk. Yeah, you get a hint of the smoke kind of when you first take the sip. And then you get a sweet bump. And then it's more of a roasted peanut peat that comes through.
Chad Adams wants coin number 750.
Let's see.
That coin will go up. We'll put that on eBay. We always put the high ones, the ending ones go up on eBay.
And then they bid.
We'll use them in a review.
Message deleted. What was that?
By Whiskey and the Six.
Really?
From 2 Nico.
Yeah, but 2 Nico said in that one he said he had a typo or something. And then that got deleted. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. So Whiskey and the Six also has editorial control.
Yeah.
Way to go, Rob. All right. I knew Roy did. Seeing Rob take control like that made me I don't know what that means. Shouldn't Rob be teaching school or something?
It should be.
Probably some second graders.
We should be working though too.
No. We're always crazy on Monday. Rob should be doing something with like a third grader who just put gum in Susie's hair.
Chad Adams says boo to putting the coin up on eBay.
Well, you can still get it.
Yeah, you can still get it.
Yeah, you can still get it. I mean, what we were doing is when we do every Centurion episode, so every 100, or for every once in a while, every 50th even. I know it's more 100th now, but then we quit counting. We just quit counting shows.
Well, I'm still tracking.
You track them?
What?
Well, I don't label them. I don't count them. There were just too many.
Yeah, we had with quick hitters, and we would have some lives that were like impromptu.
You know what killed me was the Advent,
or like if we did a recap. Well, Advent calendar we didn't count.
I know, but there were so many, and then we're not counting. Then some count.
If we didn't review a bottle in the episode, I didn't number it. Is what I started doing, because like we would have a recap of the Pete shootout. I wouldn't number that because I'm like, there's no new bottle that's reviewed.
I'm with
nothing like that.
I'm with you, but
then lives from distilleries, from Iron Root, or videos from there, and all kind of. But I've still got the list. I've still got them tracked.
Lulu. Oh, it's so early. Where do you live? Where are you at? You in Alaska? I don't know where Lolo was at. Claire the Third Advent calendar was the worst. Yeah, he didn't like it. He was like, "When is this over?"
It had its purpose.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. And
what's in the
Ballantruan.
Yeah, I wanted to go back here.
Yeah, try that. That's in my favorite Rito glass.
So Benriach 10, a Speyside peated malt.
This Benriach's nice.
Old Ballantruan 10, a Speyside peated malt.
It's the first part of Ben Dietrich's name. Benriach. This is just savory. The Benriach is savory and sweet, smooth. Ballantruan's more of your standard peat.
Well, that's tough.
Good.
Those are both good.
Both good in a different way. That's why I'm a peat head.
More peat, and more peat and sweet.
You want more Jura?
No. Riach. There's Ben Dietrich. He's tuning in.
Ben.
Riach is my
Ben,
middle
I want to
name.
apologize if you watched the Open. I was off my game.
He called you Brian.
Called you Brian Dietrich. Somehow I nailed the last name.
He always says Ben. He knows it's Ben.
I know it's Ben. I just was at a deal at the Scotch and Sirloin, and I called you Ben. So I don't know where Brian came from.
This morning we were at the Scotch and Sirloin.
Yeah,
we talked about
and I
Ben
said
Dietrich.
Ben Dietrich and SMWS.
Then we go live, and
we go live.
Brian.
I'm like, Brian Dietrich, and he's looking at me like, "You dummy." Yeah, he looked at me funny. I'm like, "Did I miss the last name?" He's like, first. I'm like, "Damn, what was I thinking?" Is that your middle name? Ben Brian Dietrich. That's got to be it.
That's tough calling them because those are both really good.
Yeah, buy them both.
And I'll bet you they're both similar. I'll bet this one should be in the Ben Riach should be in the 50s
he
as
says
well.
Riach is his middle name. So it's Benriach Dietrich. That sounds good. That would be a good middle name. Now, Hempfield comes up against Claire the Third and says, I like the Advent calendar since it had rare finds. Yeah.
I was going to say, it had its place.
Claire didn't enjoy it. Claire the Third didn't enjoy it at all. He was mad. He thought it was bad.
We got a
voice that wants to know if Ben's traveled anywhere recently in this month.
For those that are watching, if you purchased an Advent calendar last year, Jonathan just emailed us last week or the week before. They are going strictly with Indiegogo crowdfunding to finance the next one.
Yep. And you know what? I'm going to help Jonathan and Cindy out in whatever way we can, because first of all, I'm a huge Kickstarter / Indiegogo fan. Microfunding or crowdfunding is actually the best term, is the best way to go. If people want it, they show up and they vote with their dollars. So I thought that was a good move. I learned this from the board game industry and some owners I know in different publishing companies there. It allows them to find out what's the demand, and then they can meet it, and they have the money to do all of that. So it's a smart move by Jonathan and Cindy. So notice how I'm using all first names now.
Yeah.
I should have just said the Brays.
You got it right.
I know.
Jonathan and Cindy.
Yeah. The Bray family. The Bray couple.
Ben Dietrich's going to Scotland in May.
Ooh, we may be there too if you're in Glasgow.
We're going to Ireland.
We're going to Ireland in May, mid-May.
We are gonna try to fit in a day or two, maybe up to Glasgow.
Yes. We're hoping to fly out of Glasgow.
We'll see.
Maybe. It's not totally up to us.
Well,
we're trying to work out a flight. We're
trying to work out our itinerary, our plans.
We're being flown to Ireland.
Yes, that's what we know.
Right.
So far.
And we're going to try to fly out of Glasgow. So, although, we had the option of flying out of London as well. And immediately I was thinking, compass box. I thought of that.
Yeah, you're fitting too much into one trip.
Dang it.
We'll be back.
I know. Scott keeps telling me you're trying to jam it all into one.
Yeah,
we'll
he
be
wants
back
everything.
multiple times.
He's like, we got a Lagavulin.
We got to stay there for a whole month.
We got a hard bag.
What?
Yeah.
We didn't even get down to Isla.
Faygeal's in May.
We need to camp out in Isla with a tent. That probably wouldn't be recommended until the Faygeal.
Ooh, we could go to McAllen too.
we could rent a boat.
I'm like, how long are you planning on staying there?
I may not come back.
Faygeal is in May.
No, Now you're just messing with me. We need
now. No, I would extend. Fagiel would be the only thing that would make me extend or really try to alter plans.
Thank you. We need
the rest is there year round.
Okay. We need
anytime you can go.
Netflix needs to come in and offer a show to the dummies. I'm going to say it now. You guys reach out to Netflix, tell them we need to have a Netflix show. It's probably too soon for that, but I want it. I want it because I want to be popping in on the Fagiel.
No, it's knitting shit.
The show that will,
the inaugural episode of my
that will be the show that gets picked up by Hulu. Hulu will want to have the knitting shit show. That actually will happen. We'll get a Scotch Test Dummy show. They'll love it, and then we'll have knitting shit and board games.
Well, I tease that because you're always doing
board games.
You'll do your reviews or your quick hitters
with board games.
I
love it.
So I said I'm starting a new channel, and it's knitting shit, and I'm going to be knitting, and I'm doing my quick hitters with my
crochet. Too was like knitting and shitting.
I'm getting some crocheting hooks and needles.
Yes.
And I'm going to be yarning the shit out of stuff.
You're going to yarn the shit out of it.
And I'm going to be drinking whiskey.
And immediately people are like, that would probably be a big show. You would blow up a man knitting and called knitting shit. You would kill.
That's right.
You would. I was actually got a little nervous. I thought if he actually does a knit and shit show, it'll probably blow up and you'll be like, hey, this Scotch thing's over. See ya. And I'm like, damn, what happened? My board game thing didn't take off, but knitting shit did.
Chad Adams will reach out to Netflix if he can have coin 750.
Well, if you get us a Netflix, just a 4-show run as a tester, we'll give you 750. I can guarantee that. Although you did spell the flicks wrong, but that's all right.
See, though, now we're really flowing now. It's been a couple drinks.
You're exactly right. Yeah. There's a flow. There's a banter.
We've got to warm up.
Right. There's a banter. That's what you were worried about. When we filmed the on location show, he didn't feel he had the flow. I thought your flow was good.
Good. I might have been masking.
Okay. Well, you masked well. Afghans and Ardbeg. Look at that show. Way to go, Rob Davey. Afghans and Ardbeg. I like that. That would have to be a sponsored show by Ardbeg.
Jason Whiskey Wise wants to know when we're going to Ireland. Mid-May, we know right now. Exact dates aren't pinned down yet. Or May. Well, we haven't pinned down.
We're pretty sure, but yeah, the dates haven't been pinned down. Chad Adams says, done. Santa Cruz says, Jason, hello. Claire the Third. What did he curse? Yes, he did.
Says lots of shit in Ireland. You can do knit and shit there.
I love it. I think you should do a knit and shit show. I'm just saying. I think it would be a hit, and you would learn cross stitch. And I'm not kidding. You would pick up a show probably quicker than Scotch Test Dummies. Netflix would probably want somebody to sponsor you. Well, I don't know. I don't think so, but who knows? Netflix clearly needs a whiskey show. Yes, and we would travel. Can you guys imagine if we had the right production? And we're popping into Japan, and then the next week we're down in Australia.
I want like Fuji Water to sponsor us.
Oh, that would be good. We've actually talked about water. We've talked about trying to find a water sponsor. We do not want a whiskey sponsor at all because we want to be able to say whatever we want. But a water sponsor would be good. We should reach out to Fuji
as a sponsor.
No,
we just don't review their stuff.
I don't think they would like that though. I don't know. I think we need a water sponsor.
I would take Ardbeg as a sponsor. I'd take Lafroig or
I would not want a whiskey. I mean, I guess you're right, but I wouldn't want a whiskey sponsor. A water sponsor would be great because then when I crinkle, it would be all about pumping the Fuji, or in this case, the Member's Mark generic brand.
It's just
water.
As good.
Yeah, but Fuji Water would be a great. I actually thought about that. Fuji Water, if they sponsored, would be good.
Sponsored by
Flint, Michigan.
No.
There you go. We need a city to sponsor us.
No.
Why not?
Not funny. I did not laugh at that comment.
I thought it was hilarious. Yes. What's wrong with Flint?
No.
Nika and Needlepoint. Look at that. They're all coming up with your show would take off. I've got bonding with board games and like it's about 5,000 subscribers. You would do knit and shit and be at 28,000 within a month.
Bart would be like, "You're talking too much about knitting."
You're
people love it. People love it.
Crocheting as I'm like pouring stuff.
They love the
like,
hook,
what are you
and
doing
stitch.
There? Yeah, the hook and stitch
Pattern right there.
Yeah,
See
you would make me a hat. It'd be an Ardbeg hat. It'd have a little A in it. It'd be perfect. See?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about this whiskey, but first,
hold on. I got to finish this cross stitch section. Yeah, you just have it going on. Anytime we do a gathering, you'd just be off in the side just making socks.
Hook and loops, baby. Hook and loops.
You'd have your own needle brand. It'd be called the Bruno.
Have all kinds of stuff coming in. Free.
I'm telling you, I'd
Have
be
on the
all
show.
jealous. You'd be like, look at this. You'd be like, hey, you need any more socks? Lana says, I could watch Scott knit all day. Vanderhooven's on board. See, Hemp Hill likes it. That's it. I'm telling you. At the very least, we've got to film a knit and shit commercial for our show just to see what happens.
All right, let's wrap it up. That's good.
Yeah.
That's hard to pick a winner between Ballantruan and Benriach right now.
Ballantruan. Rob Davies says,
good.
Scott, I'll subscribe before you have any content. You can just create a channel and they'll subscribe. Crochet.
I'm going to
is
wear
an
goofy
Ardbeg
shirts and
activity.
hats.
Yes.
I'll talk about those too.
Yep. I think you got to go different. You got to wear like a Speedo while you're knitting.
No, just
look at that. Rob came in. $10. We got to do a little ding, 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 ding. The portion of Ontario tax dollars spent while I was distracted today. Ooh, sorry. I got it. Sorry.
That was a rough read, right?
It was. Well, he had an
Don't
emoji,
go to the
but
library. Don't go to the library to read to kids, whatever you do.
Everything was yellow. I couldn't pick it up. It was actually in Scotch Test Dummies colors. The portion of Ontario tax dollars spent while I was distracted today. Very nice. Very nice. Knit and shit is a thing and it needs to happen. Matter of fact, that should be a t-shirt. I bet you it would be good.
Hey Siri, play the cowbell.
Okay, playing the cowbell by
No,
Roma.
that's not what I want.
Oh, that'll get us in trouble. Kill that. They'll be like, we
Now,
want
sometimes she's
paid.
come up
We
there.
want paid. I don't know. We're going to let them work through this. I'll look here. Scotch manga, but my wife is Puerto Rican. Let's see. Chad Adams says, have another dram. Yeah, we're doing all right. We actually haven't been able to have hardly any here. Let's see. Whiskey in the Six. Good thing you don't live in Quebec. When's this year's drams for fans? That's a good point. Weren't they talking about that?
We have a probably
we're going to do our own little fundraiser for a
next
special thing probably next
Sunday.
That'll be more of we have a good friend that has, do it again, cancer. It's not going. Thank you, Rob. Cowbell.
And then
I'll let you explain.
Do it once you started explaining
Cancer.
Yes. Stop.
No, it won't quit.
Stop.
It won't stop. It keeps
It always
going.
stops. What's it doing?
I don't know. I think you hit it multiple times. Now it's like backlogged.
Yeah, we have a good work buddy.
Well,
A few weeks ago,
he had a pain in his
had
back.
a pain in his back. He went to the hospital. Well, no, he called his doctor. He got an appointment for the next week. Over the weekend, his back was bothering him so bad, he went to the ER.
Yes.
Turns out pancreatic cancer,
And
liver
it was-
cancer.
and it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
They
He's got-
literally gave him 3 weeks to 3 months.
Yeah, it's and him and his wife have adopted.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's 4 children they've adopted. They have one of their
3?
own.
I thought it was 3 of their own.
No, one of.
I thought they had 7 kids.
One of their own.
Oh, you know better than I do.
So we're going to do
Good guy, though.
They've already got a good fundraiser going here for him.
But we'll do a little special show on Sunday.
Next Sunday, I think 3:00 p.m. We'll plan it. We'll do a little fundraiser auction, some stuff,
and we'll talk. I mean, this is the kind of guy that he was one of these emergency foster home guys where, whatever, they find kids in a meth house and they can't stay there, and he would take them in on a short-term basis, and then they would connect, and they actually adopted kids permanently from that type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
great guy. I'll put a link down. There was a story on one of the news channels they did have online. I'll put that up there so we're not bluffing you.
Oh, I think they know that. But
he's a 48-year-old. He's a police detective and a certified bomb technician with the bomb squad here in town. It's devastating. So his family will be appreciate everything that we can do. I mean, there's all.
Well, I think next Saturday, aren't we? I'm going to join you there. We're going to go out and build him. He had on his, before this all came up, it was so fast, he was going to rebuild his fence. And I believe we're going to go out and there's a whole group of people, coworkers that are going to go out and get his fence all squared away for his wife and everything. So.
Chad Adams says raffle off coin 750, so maybe we'll do that.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
That is not a bad idea.
And probably a complete set.
Maybe,
well, it wouldn't be 750.
Right.
Each we're on cask 4.
Yep.
So we've got 4 complete sets of 1 through 50 that we held
2,
aside.
Coin 1, 2, 3. Yep. And I think
but
4.
Actually Richie Z we've only auctioned off one. Richie Z, if he's watching,
number 50.
He bought this complete set of number 50. So we'd probably come up with 49.
And
maybe we do 2.
And
48.
when you buy an auction set, you also get the chance of buying that numbered set in future Deals. Now you got to pay the $10 or whatever, but that's nothing. So that way we've always held back set 50 or now 49 down to 1.
Santa Cruzan is asking, can he get stuff to us to auction off? Shoot us an email. Santa Cruzan, scotchtestdummies@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do there. I don't think we can auction off any whiskey, any liquor.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We don't want to try.
Maybe job, we don't want to mix any whiskey with it. But any items or anything, that would be great. So
we will plan that this upcoming Sunday at 3 p.m. ish. Hopefully that stays the same. We'll see. Unless something comes up, maybe we push it back a week, but plan on Sunday the 17th at 3. We'll I think now that we announced it, we'll do some updates.
Yeah,
let everybody know
it's a little ad hoc at this point in time. Like I said, because I know we're going to be out there putting this fence up and some other stuff, just trying to help him get some. That was what you even call it.
That was on his to-do list to get done with his privacy.
So
fence.
we're trying to help him basically with his to-do list.
It should be a bunch of people out there. So all right. If anybody else is interested in auction items, let us know. ScotchTestDummies@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's it. Scotch it. You Scotch gods.
Cilantro. Dummies.